I have 3 more. One sec. One sec. Just fixing the nest for her because when she lays the eggs there, sometimes they break. A couple of days ago, I noticed that our white hen, our half bantam hen, was laying her eggs behind the scrap wood pile. So I went looking, and sure enough, she already had more than half a dozen eggs. So she's going to become broody again. They always do. And the last time she was broody, a few weeks back, she abandoned the nest because it was getting too interfered with by the other hens. And it was her first time nesting for her. And so she just, walked away from the nest. But here she has total privacy, pretty clever, and she should be able to sit on the nest and nobody would go there and mess with it. Because other hens always want to lay their eggs where there's a lot of eggs. And where the most eggs are is where there's a broody hen sitting on eggs. So in time I will have the second hen house. These will be five separate houses. For now I only have one, but my next hen house will be dedicated to the broody hens. When the hens become broody, then they can have isolation and they can have privacy, and the other brood hens that are just laying eggs, they're not gonna be able to get in there and interfere or try to lay their eggs in these nests. So for now, I'm gonna let her have her special nest back there. This is how they stay free of fleas. They control the fleas, which are a natural parasite of chicken, and by dust bathing or dust bathing, they they create an environment on their skin that is that isn't good for fleas. So very fine dust particles, they will affect the fleas, so the fleas won't be able to reproduce and to have a comfortable environment into where to live. See them here going through the compost pile. The pile has a lot of earthworms, so they're able to find their own protein. There's not just worms, but all sorts of other insects and small creatures. And this is the reason why we only feed corn. We don't feed anything else to our birds, because they have a very healthy and diverse diet. They are able to source all the protein that they need, animal protein, which is the healthiest protein for them, not soy protein like they are fed in industrial operations. And even not just industrial, because a lot of people have home raised chickens, and when you buy feed out, the feed will include soy as protein. Which is absolutely essential unless your birds have access to a good pasture. These are fake, they're wooden, just to encourage them to go lay in these nests and not find some hidden spot out there. All right, so with this, I'm fixing a bit of a problem that was here, which was that the youngsters, all the birds before they get to a size where they're comfortable and feel confident to get up on the tree, to roost on the tree with everybody else, with the older hens, and they try to find the highest spot possible, and the top of the box is generally the spot. And of course, they eat all day and poop all night, so they make a big mess in the box, on top of the box, and that forces me to come in here and clean the top of the box at least once a week. So I'm trying to avoid that. If it wasn't for that, I really don't need to come in the hen house at all. I collect the eggs from the outside. I feed from the inside of the outbuilding. So I only need to come inside the hen house once or twice a year to remove the bedding and the manure and add it to the compost. So this should fix it. Once they upgrade to the roosting tree, I can always pull it up and have it out of the way. And once again, when I have new chicks again and they're at that level, bring it down and prevent them from getting on top and making a mess. I thought of many ways to do this, but this was the easiest and doesn't look so bad. So we have 3 broody hens right now. One, Isa, the half bantam, and another black girl there. So we should have some chicks coming up soon again. So, hey. So when it comes to keeping chicken, breeding chicken, raising chicken, I've decided to do a 180 and go back to how my grandmother did it. And this from having raised, I had one season where I raised close to 500. Birds of prey. Sometimes he does see them. Come here. What are you getting all worked up for? Good boy. That's a good boy. That's the thing about a dog like this. If he was loose, he would just take off running, and I have no idea when he would come back. So back to the chicken. My previous business, I raised a lot of meat birds. I would raise 300 to 500 meat birds on pasture, on chicken tractors a season. I raised them from day olds. You'd buy the little chicks and then raise them. I had 100, up to 100 laying hens, all on pasture, all organic fed. My birds had about over 3 acres of pasture, room free. And I raised with an incubator, brooder lamps, but it's a lot of work. Of course, I was doing more production. Here, I don't think I'm going to be selling chicken meat or eggs. I doubt it. Maybe I'll sell some eggs when I have more more birds. Alabaster, come here. Enough already. Come on. It's okay. You're a good boy. I know. So good. But going back to the way things were done in the past, I opted for a heritage breed. These black chickens are Preta Lusitanica. They're a heritage breed, very old breed. So they're dual purpose. They're not great layers, and they're not great meat birds, but they do both. They do. We can do both of them. They lay eggs, like any chicken, maybe a little bit smaller. Still lay almost an egg a day. And the roosters, they get a decent size for meat. So the way things were done in the past was you had broody hen, or like I do have the little chicken, the bantam. Ours is actually a half bantam, so she's a little bit bigger than a regular bantam, than a pure breed bantam. But they're excellent broody hens, excellent nesters. They will lay a dozen eggs, go broody, sit on the eggs, hatch those eggs, take care of the chicks for 7 weeks, then go back to laying another dozen eggs, hatch those eggs, take care of the chicks for 7 weeks, going back to literally, they're just constantly. I've been observing ours, and she will take really good care of the chicks for 6 weeks, always down on the ground with them, under her for warmth, especially in the colder months, winter and so on. And on the 7th week, she'll start jumping up on the roosting tree, kind of signaling to them that she's no longer going to be with them for the rest of their life. So for the first day, they really freak out, but then she comes down. She stays up there for a minute or two, and then they quiet down. She goes in the corner with them, and everything's cool. Next day, she goes back up there again in the evening, This time for a little bit longer, they freak out, they cry, 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 and then she comes down, and they quiet down. They go to the corner, and she does this every day for a week, and every day, every next day, she stays up on the roosting tree longer. And on the seventh day of the seventh week, she stays up. She spends the night up on the roosting tree. And they are quiet. They no longer cry for her. And literally the very next morning, she lays the first egg of the next stint of eggs, roughly a dozen. And once she has that dozen eggs laid, she'll sit on them. She goes broody again. She's like a machine. She goes broody again. She sits on the eggs and sees them through, and the cycle repeats itself. I had heard that these little hens, these bantams, were really good on the nest that way, but I had no idea they were this good. They are incredible. So now I have the white one, which is she's from the not this particular flock. These five with the one that we ate a couple of weeks back that the hawk killed. The white one, she's the one with the nest behind the boards there. She's from the previous flock. And she's so she's also less than half a bantam, but we'll see. I'm gonna let her nest, and ideally I'll have two of these bantams that will just continuously raise chicks for me, both for eggs and for meat, which is 100% sustainable and is 100% hands-free. Like there's no work from me at all. The hens do all the work. And the one thing that's also very interesting and is good is that the chicks are, once they are on their own, they spend a few weeks, 2 to 3 weeks, maybe 4 weeks, where they're their own flock, and they kind of come and go. They're not really cohesive with the overall flock just yet, but they are confident. They're not scared. They don't get chased away too much. Like right now up on the roosting tree, they have to earn their pecking order. They try to go up all the way, but they get pegged out and they come down. So it takes them a little longer to reach that level where they're fully integrated into the flock, and then they just follow the rooster around on their literally they have this the route where they do every day. They go from here, they go down there around the tent pad frame, then they go that way and then come back around for a little snack and then do this whole thing again. And they are following but not still at a distance. But in time, another couple of weeks, they'll be all together, and that's how it works. If you try to bring in chicken from outside or chicks that you bought out and maybe you raised in a brooder lamp, in a box, and then you try to incorporate them into the flock, they most of the time, they never integrate. They just rejected, they're not accepted. They'll always be kind of outcast. They are around, but they're separate thing. And this natural system guarantees that the chicks integrate the flock fully. There is no question about that. So it's it's another benefit of this natural system. So yeah, hens free, sustainable. See, they're still trying to get on top of the nesting box, the laying box. But now, with the curtain down, with blind down, it's like they're can't do it. So they're yeah. It'll be a couple of days more, and they'll be up on the roosting box.